Whether you love your job or hate the average workday, you always look forward to coming home safe and sound. Sadly, this is not the case for many workers. When we think of dangerous jobs, the ones that come to mind are what many call heroes: firefighters, soldiers, and police officers. People who are risking their lives often don't get medals or recognition. They work hard for little pay and die in the dark. To recognize those who make the ultimate sacrifice, here are the 15 most dangerous professions in the world. But first, please like and subscribe to this channel, and then sit back and relax. Number 1. Commercial fishing. Fish catching is more than just a reality show. In fact, commercial fishing is as dangerous as it appears on television. It made it to the top of the Bureau of Labor Statistics (BLS) list of dangerous professions. Common hazards in commercial fishing include hydraulic machinery, spool lines, and spillery decks that can cause devastating falls. Number 2. Forest extraction. The BLS cited a fatal injury rate of 84.3 per 100,000 full-time logging workers versus just 3.5 per 100,000 across all industries. However, in past years, the fatal injury rate has reached 130 out of 100,000 workers. Logging workers are faced with tough terrain, dangerous equipment, and the constant risk of falling objects. Number 3. Aviator pilots. The most dangerous aspect of being a pilot is not what you might think. Pilots and flight attendants suffer greatly from overexertion. Of course, pilots are also faced with all the risks expected from flying, with many succumbing to accidents. We think of pilots as the captains who fly commercial airlines, but most of them are field pilots in small planes that jump daily from dangerous airports. Accidents go with their territory, as do deaths from mechanical failure or local warlords in the most dangerous corners of the world. Number 4. Roofers. Falls may be the most obvious source of injury for roofers, but they are vulnerable to other serious risks as well. Examples include injuries from falling debris, chemical burns, and even electrocution from being exposed to power lines. Fortunately, continued training and other worker safety efforts have led to the noticeable decrease in fatalities, despite increased job opportunities in the recent housing boom. Those shingles on your house could have easily killed someone. Fall hazards are a given when working on top of buildings, but the rigors of the job also mean that heat stroke claims more than a few people each year. Number 5. Collectors of recyclable materials. The benefits of recycling for the environment are not in doubt, but sometimes this happens at a very high personal cost to workers. From small junkyards to vast sorting and compounding plants, facilities often offer meager pay in exchange for dangerous conditions. According to a well-known fair warning analysis of OSHA data, junkyards and other recycling facilities receive 80% more citations per inspection than the average within some job sites. Number 6. Steelworkers. The average steelworker is faced with grueling working conditions and often long working hours. Heavy machinery can cause a variety of injuries, even when guards are activated. Workers are also at risk for exposure to toxins, potentially leading to chemical burns, and fall from uneven walkways. Although they have not yet reached sensitivity, ordinary machines are still risky business. Skynet doesn't need to send them back in time. They just need to cut, bend, and alter metal to take lives and cause crippling injuries. Number 7. Commercial truck drivers. Truck drivers may not suffer the highest fatality rate, but due to the size of the industry, the profession sees far more fatalities than those that are categorized as more dangerous. The BLS cited 987 deaths among vendor drivers and truck drivers, with a rate of 26.8 deaths per 100,000 full-time workers. Although generally better trained than most taxi drivers and protected by much more steel and safety precautions, truckers are also on the road, and every incompetent driver is allowed to turn a wheel. Number 8. Agriculture. Farmers. They are more likely to be killed on the job than firefighters or police officers. Those fortunate enough to live after tractor accidents or pesticide exposure can face lifelong suffering with attendant physical ailments and mental health issues too, making it more difficult for agricultural professionals to make a living. The enormous amount of equipment used in modern agriculture makes working the land a dangerous job. Add in the relatively low education of most ranchers and farmers, and you have an accident-prone population working in unstable conditions, often a part of a factory farming or factory farming money mill that prizes profit over profit. Human life. Number 9. Supervisor of landscape decorations. Interestingly enough, the list of the most dangerous occupations didn't cite landscapers or lawn workers, but they're supervisors. Those involved in managing typical travel significant distances between job sites, putting them at risk for vehicle accidents. Number 10. Power line installers. Life as a power lineman is not an attractive one. Workers regularly succumb to falls, electrocution, and even strangulation. As in many of the professions listed above, power line installers are also likely to be involved in traffic accidents. Electricity is a tough mistress, as anyone dealing with poles and transformers can tell you. Connecting high-voltage wires is a game of Russian roulette. Also, we can enjoy endless seasons of The Bachelor and microwavable pizza rolls. Number 11. Firemen. Groups like the hotshots that fight wildfires are truly in danger, but most firefighting personnel only deal with burning chili and the occasional house fire from an overturned candle. Running into hell is pretty rare, which is why volunteers are often enough to handle basic firefighting duties. Number 12. Officer of the law. Police officers are much more likely to kill an unarmed civilian than to be in danger themselves, thanks to the comprehensive protection they receive. They often die as a result of driving accidents, as do truckers and taxi drivers, although they are given the luxury of highly reinforced vehicles that are not offered in the private sector. Number 13. Lumberjacks. People who work in the logging industry often have long shifts among the trees, leading to long hours and exhaustion. Combine that with climbing, falling wood and saws everywhere, and you have a deadly mix that kills a high percentage of loggers each year. Number 14. Miners. More safety requirements and regulations have reduced the dangers miners face, but it is still a job that digs deep below the surface where suffocation, deadly gas explosions, mechanical failures, and cave-ins are common. Just some of the risks. Number 15. Landmine clearance specialists. Most soldiers have secure jobs where they work behind the scenes, operating desks, doing maintenance, cooking food, and doing the general day-to-day stuff that anyone deals with. Only those in specialized fields tend to be truly at risk, and that includes people looking to make the world safer by removing landmines from the equation. The conclusion we draw is that, as much as we can say about the most dangerous jobs in the world, no one is aware of the real dangers that each worker faces in his job until he performs it. We can imagine it, but telling it is not the same as living it. That is why it is always important to study each job position and to establish occupational risk prevention measures adapted to each position. And that's it. Workers who feel a vocation for their profession will carry it out regardless of the dangers it entails, although they must never forget to protect themselves against them. Injured at work? You deserve the support of an attorney who cares about your case. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like and the subscription button and the notification bell in order to be notified when new videos are uploaded in this channel. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on the 15 most dangerous jobs in the world. Thank you.